it as endothelial keratoplasty, my preferences. So we know all these things. We are really, indebted to Dr. Zum, who really started corneal transplant procedures, and which has taken so many changes in the recent years. And EK, as Dr. Siddharth said, is globally is going to be is emerging as the important procedure of choice. It is safe and effective, and it gives a good post-operative vision and early recovery as to PK. There are several varieties of EK, like DSEC, then the automated one, then ultra thin one, the DMEC, what Dr. Siddharth said, and a little about PDEC, what I'll be discussing today. So as we know, it is a removal of the entire cornea as in PK, some little stroma along with descemex and endothelium as in DSEC, and in DMEC it is the endothelium and the descemex alone, that is 15 to 20 microns of tissue. So DMEC is really a tough procedure to master it. Someone needs to be like Siddharth to do more than 500 cases to master it. On the other hand, DSEC is relatively easier. And yeah, so why do I prefer PDEC in most of the cases? Because it gives the ease of the procedure like DSEC, however, gives a result which is similar to that of DMEC. So it was in 2014, Dr. Harminder Dua, he demonstrated existence of new layer in the cornea. You see here, the cornea has been bubbled. This is the endothelium and the descemex. And after the endothelium and descemex, you still see a layer of tissue between endothelium and the descemex and the stroma. And he proved it with a very high resolution microscopy, and he termed it as Dua's layer or the pre-descemex layer. So this is descemex, this is the endothelial cell, and this is the pre-descemex layer, which is constituting nearly 15 to 20 more microns of tissue. So later after that, it was Professor Amar and his team. They demonstrated this new version of endothelial keratoplasty, wherein we not alone transplant the descemex and the endothelium, but also the pre-descemex layer. How do we do that? Is create a pneumatic separation or an air bubble induced separation of the pre-descemex layer along with descemex and the endothelial complex from the stroma, underlying stroma, and harvest this particular tissue and use as the posterior endothelial graft complex. So PDEC is the latest iteration, and it provides benefits of DMEC, as I said, but reducing the amount of difficulty associated with DMEC. And one more important thing is, as Siddharth was mentioning earlier, don't try in your young eyes, he was telling. That is because the young eyes has good addition of the descemex membrane to the underlying stroma, and it's really very tough to make a descemex membrane dissection over there. Whereas in PDEC, when we try to dissect the pre-descemex layer along with endothelium and the descemex, it becomes relatively easier. However, the unrolling properties are tougher, unlike the other elderly aged eyes. But however, the dissection becomes easier. So that is one more additional advantage of PDEC. So this is one of the cases. Fuchs endothelial dystrophy, one eye is badly affected, and the other one is relatively okay. So in this case, let me just show how do we do this dissection. So a 5 ml syringe loaded with air attached with 26 or a 30 gauge needle is passed intrastromally right from the limbus. We advance into the cornea towards the center. And, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to repeat this, but still it is a good experience in learning. Go into the stroma, keep as posterior as possible, at the same time considering not to make a perforation. So as you go inside to the very center, start inject air. Initially, there will be an emphysema formation like that, followed by a bubble, and there comes a single large central bubble, which is called as the type 1 bubble, which dissects the pre-Descemet's layer from the underlying stroma. This is a classical dissection of pre-Descemet's layer. So after having done this, stain the pre-Descemet space using Trypan blue. Having done that, I generally mark using 7 or 7.5 millimeter Trypan. Once having marked, here what we do is we use a side port knife, a paracentesis knife, to make an opening. Yes. After having done that, use Havana scissors or fine corneal scissors and keep excising the pre-Descemet's graft at the edge. See carefully, I keep rotating the graft, the corneoscleral button, rather than my hand, because this is the comfortable position for me. I keep rotating and see, I still maintain the air bubble. Till the final stage, I maintain the air bubble. When and where required, I use Optisol or MK medium to wet the endothelium and keep excising till the end. You can see the air bubble underneath and the graft which is freely mobile. Yes, I remove and the air bubble is left there. So this is how I make the graft preparation of pre-Descemet's endothelial keratoplasty. Once that is done, then it is similar to that of DMEC, but for few little advantages, I would mean, that I'll be telling little later. So I do a conventional microphacoemulsification, and it is for all endothelial keratoplasty. Since we'll be having air or SF6 into the eye, it is advisable to have a hydrophobic lens rather than hydrophilic lenses. I always use an AC maintainer, and it should be very clear that all the viscoelastics should be removed before injecting the graft tissue. So that is also very much important for all sorts of endothelial keratoplasty. All the OVD has to come out. This is much similar to any form of endothelial keratoplasties. Remove the diseased endothelium. This was one of my earlier cases, but I strongly agree with Siddharth, because however clear the cornea seems to be, it is wise to remove the epithelium before endothelial keratoplasty surgery. I'll show you why. So once that is done, here in this particular case, I used a Medicel injector, which was popularized by Francis Price, removing the spring and using a soft injector. But we have several modifications, several new things also. And in a controlled way, this is the stage when the AC maintenance should go off. Otherwise, the graft will slip outside. I do agree that however small the size of the wound be, it has to be sutured. And here again, we made gentle taps. See the loosened epithelium over here. This is why all endothelial keratoplasties, however the cornea appear to be very clear, it is wise to remove the corneal epithelium before a surgery. And I generally use an endo-illuminator for better visualization of the tissue. And it is always, the chamber should be shallow for the graft to get unrolled and get attached properly. Once we are comfortable, give a single injection of air and attach the graft, and finally inspect all the edges if it is clearly attached. So this completes the surgery. So this is how it was post-operatively. This is another case for us, failed corneal graft. In this case also, you can see made it in the initial phase only, removal of the hypertrophied epithelium, which is very loose. Do a cataract surgery. And all my cases, I generally do an inferior PI beforehand, before taking the patient for surgeries. Why to do inferior? Someone was asking questions. When we use air or SF6, the air bubble tend to go superiorly. So we need to have access for the flow of aqueous. So inferior PI is the advised site. And as had been said, the graft always crawls towards the stromal side, exposing the endothelium outside. And that's it. So this is how it was by 6 months. This is one of our cases where in Thoothukudi, one of our consultants had made an iatrogenic decimeter excess instead of a capsular excess. That was a strange complication. And we went ahead and he sent the Descemet's complex in saline also. You can see the overhanging border of the Descemet's. Did a real capsular excess. The residual Descemet's is removed and a pre-Descemet's graft helped. Yes. We had a case of eye syndrome, and some of the cases were PEG syndrome with endothelial decompensation. This was one case where we had PDEC in a post-hydrops case following a birth trauma. And you can see the scar still remains, but a good PDEC graft helped in some useful vision for this patient. Some of the few patients were post-trap glaucoma, wherein we did pre-Descemet's graft. This, why did I show this images? This is a classical type 1 bubble. This bubble generally extending to the way periphery of the cornea. This is a type 2 bubble. And in this particular case, I had both type 1 and type 2 large bubbles. Generally, type 2 bubbles are not so large. And in this case, what I could do is I went into the pre-Descemet space and made a puncture here to make it into one single chamber and tried to do a graft. So what if I fail with rheumatic dissection? Still there is a chance that in one of the cases I did a DMEC. Even if I could not make a pre-Descemetic separation, it is really tough to do a DMEC after that, but I could achieve a DMEC graft after that also. So in our experience, nearly 60% of donor tissue were less than 40 years, in which probably we may not be able to, or it's very, very tough to make a DMEC graft dissection. So I would say pneumatic separation in young donor age is superior to that of mechanical separation of DMEC. Still, younger the donor cornea, the tougher will be to unroll the graft. So again, PDEC has some advantage because it has 15 to 20 microns of extra tissue. So probably at the edge of the graft, you can hold and manipulate to make the graft stretched. So that is also one another advantage of having 15 to 20 microns of extra tissue in PDEC. So in our series, the central corneal thickness was 517 as compared to DSEC, and this is similar to that of, there is no difference between DMEC and PDEC in terms of central corneal thickness. So more thicker the corneal tissue or more thicker the graft tissue, lesser will be the quality of vision. I'll be showing in some other slides. And we had a significant improvement of vision, that's closer to 612. And 3 cases we had failure out of the 48 case series. And all these 3 lied, the vision lied outside the confidence interval. And 2 of which required repeated rebubbling, and finally we had to go ahead with PK after that. And endothelial loss also, ours was 23%, and compared to other techniques, it was way better. Probably a pneumatic separation is superior to mechanical dissection in terms of endothelial preservation. And the price group in the recent days, they have said the endothelial cell losses 30% or just over 30% following DMEC, and ours is 23%. And one study from Singapore National Eye Center with the new injector system, they claim it is less than this also. 20% is the cell loss following DMEC. So probably because of the injector systems, and probably because of the dissection of the graft tissue itself. So when compared to PK, definitely DMEC or PDEC is a superior procedure because it's a pain-free procedure. It's a day care surgery, back to work in 7 to 10 days, just like a phacoemulsification surgery, and don't have to wait for suture removals, or there is no suture emergent adverse events noticed. So pneumatic dissection in PDEC, when compared to DMEC, it is easily reproducible. Similar to DMEC, it restores corneal thickness to normal values, unlike DSEC, which is very thick corneas. No suture adverse effects are noted. Better endothelial preservation, and the best thing is donor of any age can be tried with PDEC. So this is something about pre-Descemet's endothelial keratoplasty. And also I wish to share some of our experiences with the OCT guided femto-assisted microthin DSEC graft, high precision endothelial keratoplasty. So this was a prospective single-arm clinical trial using historical controls. A healthy donor tissue. Here we don't have to worry. Any aged cornea, like even 1 year, 2 years, any aged corneas we can use. I measure the posterior endothelial thickness and make as much thin as possible. I aim towards having something closer to 60 to 70 microns in the center. I make a real-time OCT guided dissection. Open the anterior lamellae. Mark. I prefer to have a P mark. It's P or F or L, it doesn't matter as long as you are comfortable with anything. What really matters is you need to, using that mark, you need to find the orientation of the graft tissue. That's it. So after a conventional Descemet scoring, I use an endothelial glide and a forceps to slowly get the microthin graft into the anterior chamber, position the graft and inject a single large air bubble. And this was after 6 months, the same patient, a very healthy endothelial graft and very clear thing. We had done 19 eyes of 18 subjects. Vision was closer to 6/9 by 6 months. And strange thing was, I don't know if my optometrist worked to overcome a hyperopic shift or the real change is not a hyperopic shift. We did not have a hyperopic shift in our case series. So this is an interesting slide. See here, as the thickness of the endothelial graft increases, the postoperative best corrected vision goes down. Or in other words, the thickness of the graft needs to be as thin as possible for better clarity of vision. That is the reason behind DMEC or PDEC or even ultra thin DSEC. Similarly, to compare to DMEC or DSEC or DMEC or PDEC or ultra thin DSEC, our postoperative best corrected vision was much better than DSEC, manual or automated DSEC. And second thing is the central corneal thickness. In our study, it was 554, 20 microns or 25 microns more than that of DMEC, but however, similar to that of ultra thin DSEC and much better than a DSEC. Similarly, the graft thickness. The graft thickness in our case series was 67 microns, just like ultra thin DSEC, not like DSEC, and DMEC is 15 to 20 microns. PDEC is plus 15, closer to 40-45 microns. So it gives a better visual quality with the least amount of difficulty in tissue handling and graft preparations. All cases showed a very healthy and excellent graft host adhesions with clear interfaces, and we did not lose any tissue in this particular case series. No graft loss was seen, and no rebubbling also. Strangely, there was no hyperopic shift. We just need to work more on it to understand what could be the probable reason. And this is how the graft host interface is very healthy and very clean, because all the dissections are done using femtosecond lasers. To conclude, OCT guided femto-assisted microthin high precision DSEC technique is found to be effective, very easily reproducible in donor of any age, with less endothelial compromise and good visual outcomes, better than conventional DSEC, and the results were comparable to UT DSEC, but however, there is no graft loss or perforations, and much easier than DMEC or even PDEC, and with excellent interface properties and with less technical difficulties associated with other endothelial keratoplasty procedures. So DMEC was my earlier choice of endothelial keratoplasty, and of late, considering the difficulty of scoring, this is what Dr. Nishant was telling. I used to stabilize using one hand and just get the graft tissue using other hand. And PDEC is something which is like a pneumatic dissection. Go inside, create an emphysema. You can withdraw back, go into one of the air bubbles. You can find the space where exactly the predestined space is and make a clear dissection. And however, this is one of my preferred technique. And very young donor corneas, having got one cornea in hand, I would still prefer to go with femto-assisted OCT guided microthin DSEC. So these two are my preferred endothelial keratoplasty of my choice in the recent days. Thank you for your listening. Thank you.